Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. About 27 years ago, well, actually exactly 27 years ago, when I started doing this radio show, I coined the phrase intellectual ammunition, because I said, that's really what I'm about. I'm a media guy. I'm a writer. I'm an editor. I'm a photographer. I'm a content creator, have been for my entire life. And a lot of what I do is try to take concepts and break them down into bite-sized pieces that are not only easily digestible, but easily shareable. This was before shareable became a thing on the web. But the idea was, okay, if you're going to be talking about guns and gun rights, and there's a lot of misinformation out there, it's a battle, and you need intellectual ammunition. And that's what we have done for 27 years here. And it's always fun when I find somebody who does the same thing and does it very well. And that's our next guest. Guy Smith joins us now from gunfacts.info. Guy, welcome back.
Oh, it's always a joy to be with you.
So I'm looking at your website, gunfacts.info, which I just recommend unabashedly and without any hesitation at all. And it says, Gun Facts, we are neither pro-gun nor anti-gun. We are pro-math and anti-BS. But here's the thing, Guy. And when I look at all the facts you put together, the infographics and all the research you do, it seems like it's always poking holes at and destroying the claims of the anti-gunners. Is it just that the facts are against what they're claiming?
It's more that one side is, how can I put this politely, they are so anxious to achieve their goals that in their mad rush they overlook a lot of things or maybe bend the rules a little too far. If you go through the Gun Facts website, you'll find some claims that have been made by pro-gun people, which I've debunked. And you and I are on Twitter a lot. You've probably seen me, take a couple of pro-gun people off to the side and go, nope, that's not correct.
Yep,
so
good.
my role in life is to be Switzerland. I'm not pushing one agenda or the other. I'm just trying to get people to, reduce the temperature in the room and be honest with each other. And so far, in terms of getting people to stop lying, I am a miserable failure, but I'm going to keep trying.
Well, yes, because lying has been working for the gun ban lobby and the gun ban industry. And for those who want to take a look, gunfacts.info, I-N-F-O, is the website. And you have all these infographics. You take information. I don't know if your background is as a researcher, but you certainly are a very good one. And you put them into easily digestible nuggets, or if you will, rounds of intellectual ammunition. How do you do that? How did that come about?
Well, I haven't slept since 1983, so that was a big benefit. But my training is in quantitative management analysis and research. So, spending all day in spreadsheets, running through FBI supplemental homicide tables, I can see the complexity of the data. And then having spent a large part of my career in marketing, I understand I need to distill this in such a way that the average person who doesn't have my background and experience can absorb it instantly. And that's the key. You need to put it out there in such a way that somebody looks at a chart and goes, oh, I did not know that. And they immediately understand why this is relevant. The other thing, though, is that I always stick to gold standard data, don't do, mathematical manipulations. Just lay out the raw data in such a way that somebody says, the trend which I thought was happening is not.
Well, I'm reminded of that line of there are lies, damn lies, and statistics, right?
Yeah, and then unfortunately one side is playing some very unusual statistical games these days.
Well, give us an example, because I know one that I use a lot is people say, well, the U.S. leads the world in murders, or the U.S. leads the world in gun murders. And then I look at your chart you put together, and I'm saying, well, it looks to me like the U.S. falls kind of right in the middle of the countries of the world. How do you square what you have put together here with your data and the claims of the gun banners?
Well, people who are trying to prove something other than what the raw data show have a large variety of tools for making it look different than reality. They will cherry pick countries to measure against. They will exclude certain countries because they're inconvenient. They use inappropriate measurements of how you compare similar nations to each other. And I could go on and on and on, but it's a matter of violating the two fundamental principles of research. And the two keys is the data, the raw data of quality, and is the methodology correct for what you're trying to explain. And that's where I find so many faults with so much research, is that violates one or both of those. And by the way, there's a little place on the GunFacts website that a lot of people don't see. Up under the menu bar, it says research, and then there's an item called gun control research analysis. This is a short list of certain studies that the media has jumped on, which I later looked at and said, oh, this is just utter garbage. And on that page, I include not only studies, but a brief synopsis of why nobody should be citing this. And that's valuable to people, because if you're on Twitter or Facebook and somebody says, well, this study says, you just copy and paste from the GunFacts website and say, yeah, here's the problem with that, Joe.
I'm looking at the list right now. That is, and I have not clicked on that before. That is really good material. You look under research, then gun control research analysis, and there's the whole list of them. You know that I use your stuff a lot. Just consider this completely stolen. I'm going to use this.
Well, and a note to your listeners, almost everything on the GunFacts website is open copyrighted in as much as you can copy and paste it, including sharing the graphics, providing that you don't change anything, and you do me the courtesy of, saying this is where you got it from. And what a lot of people also don't understand is almost every chart and graphic, if you click on it, you get a much bigger version of it in a separate tab, and that's what you really want to share, the nice big chart. You can copy and paste that. You can do screenshots of it. You can use it online whenever you're having these discussions / debates. And the other thing you do, which I appreciate so much, is you list the sources of where you got the information. It's not like, well, this is just Guy Smith who's kind of come up with this. No, this is like from the FBI Uniform Crime Reports or from this study or that study. So people could actually go back and look at the raw data if they wanted to. Well, and I do that for two reasons. First, it would set up my radar detector if I saw somebody making a claim that they didn't cite. I mean, just today I was on Twitter, and one of the representatives from Everytown for Gun Safety said, blah, 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 blah. I forget what they said. They didn't cite their source. And, I politely asked, could you cite your source? Because I'm actually interested in reviewing this. Well, of course, dead silence, crickets. Yeah. But the other thing is I want people to second-guess me. I want them to check my sources. I want them to dig in and say, hey, Guy, you may have missed this in that, paper that you cited. And I would love for people to find mistakes. So far, I think in 25 years of doing this, 2 people have actually found where I made a minor boo-boo. Give me a rundown. I got like 2 minutes left of kind of 2 or 3 of the major claims that are being made right now by the gun ban folks that you're looking at and going, that's just nonsense. Well, the major one is the United States is the only place where mass public shootings are happening. The folks over at the Crime Prevention Research group, they did the most massive multilingual, multi-decadal, I think it was, research of mass public shootings around the world. That's John Lott's group. John Lott's group, yeah. And a lot of people will, especially from, the anti-gun side, will poo-poo it because John's Lott. But it is the largest, most well-sourced database of mass public shootings globally that has ever existed. So right now, it's the gold standard. And we learned 2 things from it. Mass public shootings are increasing all around the world. America is not an exception. But the average fatality rate in American mass public shootings is going up faster than the other world. In other words, we're not having more mass public shootings than the rest of the world, but our mass public shooters are getting better at it.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. And then in terms of good guy with a gun stopping crime, what have you found there?
Well, there was one report, and I got it from the Bureau of Justice Statistics, and I've got a whole blog post up on the Gun Facts website. But they did a study of active shooter events and broke it down into how each one of these ended. And armed intervention was the number one way that these were stopped. I forget the exact number. I think it was somewhere around 62%. The event stopped because somebody with a gun, normally a cop, showed up and either killed the suspect or the suspect said, okay, I surrender.
Mm-hmm. Amazing stuff. Well, I cannot applaud what you're doing enough. Guy Smith, I thank you for what you're doing. I would recommend that everybody go over there, take a look at it, spend some real time, because it's very involved and very deep what you have there. The website is gunfacts.info, gunfacts.info. Guy, look, you're welcome back here anytime. Anytime you put out a new report or study, let us know. We'll get you back on, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.